Oh, let me your song.
Oh, God. And with that, welcome back to Anime Royalty Radio. I'm Don Juan, and today we will be talking about video games. But the first one we will be talking about is... I can't believe you done this, Harry. The first one we're talking about is Biomutant. It came out not that long ago, and I played at least a couple hours on it. We're going to touch base on it, and then we'll move on. I'm just keeping it pretty straightforward.
Oh,
So, Biomutant.
By the
What
books.
the fuck is it?
So serious. Let's keep going.
Yeah,
So-
keep going.
Why so serious?
So a little bit of backstory. Basically, imagine BP Oil Company or some other kind of company. I don't know. South Park did a thing.
Dropping some big names here.
It was a company calling like Toxico or Toxicap, something like that. Basically, offshore drilling. Just
Did they
Waste-
have a little
waste
video
disposal.
where the CEO was like,
We're
"We're
sorry."
sorry,
I wouldn't be surprised.
so
it was so
sorry."
But yeah, basically, some kind of oil or energy, some kind of company like that, just polluting the ocean, offshore drilling, stuff like that.
Where's Greenpeace?
It released a chemical or a gas. It's been a hot minute because I've been playing Valhalla, sorry. And it just killed all of humanity. But while it did that, it also created these new creatures that we have. These anthropomorphic, furry,
Did you
humanoid...
finish the game?
No.
So that's where furries come
So
from.
it couldn't hold your attention.
Well,
Be honest.
Couldn't keep you.
Well, technically, I think, Biomutant came out before Mass Effect?
Yes, a week before.
Yeah, that's literally what happened. I played about a week of it, and then I went straight to Mass Effect, which we'll talk about. But, so, did anybody play the Stanley Parable back in the day?
No.
No.
I showed you this.
Is that the one with the office, right? You're
Yes.
in the office. I
And
know
the
what game
and
you're
the
talking
narrator.
about. Yeah, and it has like so many different endings.
Right. Well, it's not that guy, but it's a guy that sounds pretty close that narrates the game, the conversations, which I've seen a lot of people don't really like that because literally, here's how it works: you walk up to a character, you engage in dialogue. Just about every character has like this weird mumbled, voice or whatever.
It's Charlie Brown.
Pretty much. So they have that line of dialogue, and then the narrator translates it, and it's back and forth like that. Now, there is a feature, I didn't touch it because I actually do like the narrator, because he actually does sound a lot like that guy from Stanley Parable, where you can actually adjust the frequency of the narrator, so that way it's not like all over the place. Or you're not just constantly hearing narrator, and then you play the game.
Can I pay $30 extra and get Morgan Freeman?
Oh, that'd be great.
I know, right?
I don't know.
Imagine.
It would come down to Samuel L. Jackson for me or Morgan Freeman.
Or Snoop Dogg. I know he did one
No.
documentary.
I don't think Samuel L. Jackson could do it. There'd be a lot of swearing.
That's why I'd like it.
James Earl Jones for me.
I'll take
Damn,
Samuel.
motherfucker, you scary.
See, that's why I would want it.
And I'm not gonna lie, the game is actually pretty cutesy. I'm not gonna lie. Now, the one thing that we talked about this before when we were hyping the game, basically, well, you and me were talking about this, how the build works when you're building your character, because I didn't really get it just from the trailers and from what was explained. So this is the way it works. So there's a list of about 5 or 6 different species. They're all furry, critters basically. And the way it looked to me is, at the start of it, it was more weapons-based, melee, until you get further down where it's more technical and more psionic power. Because you can unlock powers in this game. But some species are more adept to this, than others, right? And each one of them looks slightly different than the last one, like different, critters, like, difference between rats and squirrels and mice and other rodentia, I don't know. They all kind of look like,
Could you be a skunk?
Yeah, probably. A little upright walking skunk. Oh, cool enough. When you sprint, you actually do get that on all fours and sprint.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Now, you'll like this. I'm sorry, but you'll like this. So, there are decisions to be made in the game.
I like my decision
But
base.
before we get that, then you get the classes. Now, if you pre-order the game, you get the mercenary class, which I'm not going to lie, you're just like a Ronin samurai, basically.
Jin Sakai Gerbil.
Basically Jin Sakai Gerbil.
Wow.
And then the other classes, no, I'm sorry.
No, you're good, you're good.
And then the other classes are basically just like some of the powers and abilities that species get from like like gun wielding melee weapons, powers, stuff like that. And then after that, you get to your color palette, because you do get color palettes for like your fur.
So you could make yourself pink.
Yeah.
Well, I'd so do that.
Or skunk.
I'd so do
You
that.
could look like Pepe Le Pew.
Pepe Le Pew.
But what's cool is, and this was a lot like Andromeda with the Ryder twins, and what was the name of the father?
Alec
Ryder. How it didn't give you the option, but in Andromeda it gave you the option. Hey, do you want your whole family to look like your build?
Oh, that's so cool, because
What?
it basically shows like a family resemblance between everybody.
Yeah. Like if my color palette was like pink and blue, and I was a certain species, your father and mother would look exactly like you.
Oh, I like
Nice.
that a lot, especially anything decision based. We've talked about this before. How 2 of my favorite games are decision based. So,
Yep. Now with the whole decision based thing, not only are there different species, there's different clans out there, right? When you first, and it's kind of like a branching kind of thing. If you choose to help out one branch, one clan, you automatically oppose the other.
okay, so that's more Dragon Age. Remember how in Dragon Age, when I know the elf story where you had the werewolves and the elves, depending on which one you went, you cut them off. So if you went werewolves, you cut off the elves. If you went elves, you cut off the werewolves.
They also had a Fire Emblem game like that. Like, depending on which game you bought, chose which side you joined.
Yes. Isn't that the 3 houses?
I think that's what it was. I had both versions.
No.
It was for
There's
DS.
only one version.
Oh.
Now, last thing about the build, in the environment, in the world, there's also a lot of environmental hazards, like fire, radiation, some of the third thing, I don't know.
Fallout.
Ice, cold, some fallout, radiation, yeah. Or just other stuff. The way the build works is you get a circle, it's like a circle, it's round. And all those elements are on there. And not only that, works the same way for your buffs. And it actually changes, like, it kind of morphs your character. Like, if my character was just like a little skinny little bastard, and I moved that cursor all the way up to strength, he'd look like a tank. But here's the thing. If you move it too far, it takes away from the other attributes.
Right, okay.
So that's
Yes.
okay. That's just like in what was it? I can't even remember right now. Keep talking.
So right now, my character, I just slightly moved him more towards strength and speed without sacrificing too much of, technical psionic powers and dexterity or stuff like that.
It sounds interesting. How long
I only played a couple hours. I'm not going to lie. I got a little bit weirded out when there was like an upright ferret-looking guy that looked and sounded exactly like the Fonz. I'm not even joking.
Hey.
Or Elvis, yeah. He even told like...
Maybe it was like a throwback to him.
Despise me, don't you?
We are not bringing the poop rap from fucking Food Fight into this.
But it's definitely an interesting game.
You didn't do it right either. It's you despise me.
There's Now there is weapon customization. You can go out there and you can find components and stuff like that to change your like builds, like from handle to the actual weapon head and stuff like that, as well as with firearms.
So there's a lot of customization. The class, well, you said the powers kind of reminds me of Mass Effect. Because you remember at the beginning you're all melee with soldier or all firearms, and then you move down into more powers.
Vanguard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I get what you're. I see the same thing there too.
Now you do get a mech in the game, so something like that, and you can kind of visually change some of the things on them. Like visual stuff, like stuff that's attached to it. And what's cool is in some places you actually can summon it to your location.
So it's only in certain areas.
Yeah, same thing with I think other builds, because there was also basically a little skiff, a little jet ski for water that you can summon there, so you can ride that where you need to go. Now, before we move on to the next gaming bit, again, I said this was a very cutesy game. Even the first like big boss was like a giant mole pink thing that you kill. Basically, I'm just like, wow, this game's really cute. And then you go into your backstory and how your parents were killed right in front of you.
Ooh.
Serious.
It got serious quick without it having to be like gruesome. I'm just like, wow. But you know what's cool though? I'm using the mercenary class right now, and I do believe even if you didn't pre-order the game, you can buy it as a DLC if you didn't pre-order it, which I don't think would be that much.
Probably $5.
Now I chose the mercenary class because yes, Gerbil Jin Sakai, And a lot of people do refer to you as like the Wandering Ronin or the Outside Ronin. I'm wondering if that's because I chose that class, or is that just how it is, all throughout the different classes. In which case, I like the fact that you're a Ronin out there.
Still on your Ghost of Tsushima thing, huh?
Love Ghost of Tsushima.
Somehow? Yeah, sure. It's good.
It's Triple Jinsekai.
So, a week after that came out, Mass Effect Legendary Edition came out. Now, I know these two don't care.
No.
I mean,
I never said that.
He was thinking of that.
He was thinking it. He probably texted it somewhere. He did say like, "Oh, y'all can have them."
Lies
no.
and
If it was Dragon Age, but I can't say nothing because I love Dragon Age too. But after that, we got the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect, and all that is the first 3 games remastered. They did fix some stuff.
They put so much love into the first game.
They really did.
So great.
They got rid of the your reticle getting bigger the more your gun overheats, which was so nice. My only problem is the Mako. I know they gave it boosters like in Andromeda, but that thing is supposed to be able to go wherever the fuck I want it to go, and I can't, and it makes me upset.
I think that's one of the things that they didn't want to do. Again, they don't want to make it just like fly everywhere.
But it's so much fun.
It handled a lot more like the Nomad.
Yeah, from Andromeda, but I don't like that.
But turning was still kind of tanky. I'm not gonna lie.
It is a tank.
I mean, the controls.
It's a tank.
You know what I mean?
It's a 6-wheel.
It cannot corner.
I don't care.
It can tackle.
Does it handle better than a horse from Skyrim?
Ooh,
no, because you know how in a horse you can just jump up the throat of the world and
climb mountains.
Yeah. You used to be able to do that in the original Mass Effect because that thing had no stoppage on horsepower. You can climb up things like this as long as you had the horsepower. Now they slowed it down to where it's like, I can't crawl over something like this.
But now picture this. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, no.
Picture the enemy is just sitting there, and a horse just tackles the crap out of it.
the big Colossus and amateurs just Mako through them.
Just try and picture Arthur's fat ass.
Oh my god! But I haven't finished Mass Effect 1 yet.
I did. I didn't fully complete it, but I did take my time with it and played it, and I did get into 2. But so much love, so much quality of visuals, a lot of rendering, and if anyone saw the trailers, they did use what was it, 3?
3's engine.
I was gonna say no, 3's facial visuals for
for everybody.
Yeah, for everybody.
So everybody looks. Now, the one thing that they did do great in the originals was show age. Because by the time you make it to the third one, it's like, 2-3 years after the events of the first one. So, and Shepard looks battle-aged. So they did do a good job with that, but you could tell they did reverse with the same face modeling. But Caden looks like he's actually his age. Instead of in the third one, if you do happen to keep him alive on Vermeer. And where he doesn't look like he's 70.
Now, you and me talked about this. So, the way your stats, work in the game is, when you get skill points, you put them in there, and I was able to do a lot. I was able to get a lot more done and unlock a lot more things in the Legendary Edition on Legendary mode versus what it was back then when I played it originally, and I had so many people die on me and whatsoever, and I couldn't save Rex. I feel like it's a lot easier to grind for skill points on the Legendary Edition than it is back on the original system.
I say yes and no. The original, you had a level cap of 60, and if you could reach that in one playthrough, you had done basically everything in the game. But they still never gave you enough skill points to max out everything. Because after you hit 40 to 45, it comes down to 1 skill point instead of 2 skill points each level.
So to scale it back a little.
Right. So in the Legendary Edition level scaling, I did notice that you start out, as long as you're under, I think, level 12, you get 6 skill points. Now it has went down to 4, and the closer you get to level 30, it goes down to level 2.
Well, that's fair.
Or 2 per. So I enjoy it because they originally went from 60 to 30 to 30 in the other Mass Effects. So with it staying on 30 the whole entire time, to me it seems more It seems more realistic. Other than that, the game is beautiful. They did change some of the shooting mechanics for the ARs. Did you notice that?
The AR.
The Lancer.
Oh, the Lancer.
Those are considered
and also
ARs.
the sniper rifle. It doesn't have as bad of
recoil
overheat.
Yes, but one thing I noticed, if you get something like the Lancer, where it's got it's full-fledged automatic, but if you get something more like the Vindicator rifle, it is.
I did notice that some of them were just straight up semi-automatic. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't remember that feature.
It wasn't like that in the original. The original, every AR was
fired the same. Pretty much everything fired the same, and even the sniper rifles fire the same.
Yes, but
they changed that.
Yes, they did. The other thing that I've noticed is let's say you pick an adept, which is only biotic powers. That means originally in the first one you could only use a pistol and small armor or light armor. You could still only use light armor, but now
Did they not have Vanguard in the first one?
Yeah. Adept is just straight powers. There's a reason why I'm using this. Adept can only use a pistol, what it was originally trained for in the first one. And in the new one, now they can use any gun. There is no select training for that.
And you don't like that?
No, I didn't at first. I thought it took away from some of the things because as an adept, you're supposed to rely more on your powers than you are your firearms.
And I liked it because you get more flexibility out of your.
Now that I've played it, because my go-to is Vanguard, I love being able to mow people down with an AR while shooting biotics at them. It makes my life easier instead of having to use a shotgun.
Right.
And they did change up. You have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. Y'all two are just over there doing your own thing. One thing I did notice, they changed up some of the achievements. To get your Krogan ally, your Quarian ally, Asari ally, any of those.
What are you guys doing?
We're just doing our own thing.
To get any of those, it used to be you have to play 75% with that character on your team. Any mission, they have to be on there. Even the little stupid stuff that you do on the Citadel. Now they've made it to where to get that certain trophy or achievement, only 5 missions. I liked it because and the completionist in me was like, oh, thank God I don't have to do multiple playthroughs to get these. I could just do it once. But then I don't kind of like because you don't get a lot of the little tidbits if you put them together and have to be with them forever. Like the elevator rides.
True, but that's what replayability is about.
Yeah, you're not wrong. But it was so cool being a soldier and having Liara and Tally there to make your team balance and to hear them qualm back and forth. Or to hear, Tally and Rex do it. It was really nice. So, minimal changes. But, all in all, I am in heaven again. And I will probably do another 100 playthroughs.
Oh, definitely. Definitely got... Not done.
Let's get around.
Not done. Stop it.
Oh, okay.
Definitely got to play through as both male and female shepherd.
Yes, because they changed up the female shepherd from what her default looks like. So, I'm excited about that. What are you doing? You calling me a loser?
No, that L was for Leon.
Sure. You do know you will be my female character, right? I will have you romance Jacob.
You do know you will be my female.
That is an
I will
insult
have you.
if I've ever heard one.
What's so great is me and you.
I wouldn't even do that. That's bad.
I will have you romance Jacob. Yeah.
He's so boring.
He is so boring.
I would rather romance Liam Acosta from Andromeda than Jacob. If that makes any sense.
They have no idea what we're talking about.
Who are you again?
I hate you.
Excuse me, who are you?
Excuse me, who are you?
It's all about the space poon, boys.
Yes, it is. And how many different ones you can sleep with.
Says the furry.
Hey. I should go. Mass Effect memes, and with that, that's our games. We know this is not as, awesome as the last one, but get over it. It was Mass Effect.
It means a lot to us. Well, to half of us, too.
Yes.
And nothing to the other half.
But if it was Dragon Age.
Yes.
I still wouldn't care.
Yeah, we know. it would just switch. These two don't care. We care.
And if it was Halo, it would only be one of us up here.
Wart.
Wart.
And with that, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.